There's a small plastic knob on the back of your toilet. You've never touched it. Most people don't even know it's there. It controls how much water your toilet uses every single time you flush it. And on every toilet I've checked, including mine, it's set wrong from the factory. I'm going to show you how to find it, how to adjust it, and what the water meter actually does over 7 days. Stay with me on this one. Let me tell you what your toilet costs you. According to the EPA, toilets are the single biggest source of water use in your home. Nearly 30% of every drop of water you pay for goes down a toilet. The average American family flushes about 400 gallons of water through their fixtures every single day. If your home was built before 1994, your toilet uses 3.5 to 7 gallons per flush. If it was built after 1994, it uses 1.6 gallons. Modern high-efficiency toilets use 1.28. But here's the part nobody mentions at the hardware store. Every single one of those toilets is filling the tank with more water than it needs to flush correctly. The factory sets the water level high, so the toilet works on day 1 with 0 complaints. That extra water gets dumped down the drain every time you flush, for the rest of the toilet's life. You can fix it in about 90 seconds with a screwdriver for $0. Here's why it actually works, and it's simpler than you think. A toilet flush is a siphon. When you press the handle, a flapper at the bottom of the tank opens and lets a slug of water rush into the bowl. That rush of water creates suction. The suction is what pulls everything down the drain, not the volume of the water, the speed of it. You only need enough water to start the siphon and finish it. Anything above that is just refilling the tank for the next flush. It's not making the flush stronger. It's not making the flush cleaner. It's just topping off the tank because the factory said so. The little plastic part that decides when to stop filling is called the fill valve. The brand is almost always Fluidmaster, model 400A. Costs $9.98 at Home Depot if you ever need to replace it. There's a tall float on the side of the fill valve and a long plastic screw running down its center. That screw is your knob. Turn it counterclockwise, the tank holds less water. Turn it clockwise, the tank holds more. Your factory set it almost all the way clockwise. That's the default everyone is paying for. All right, here's the build. Took me 9 minutes. Should take you about the same. Step 1. Take the lid off the toilet tank. Set it on the floor. It's ceramic, it's heavy, treat it with respect. Step 2. Look inside. On the left side, you'll see a tall vertical tower with a float cup wrapped around it. That's the fill valve. Find the plastic adjustment screw running down the middle of it. Step 3. Mark the current water level with a pencil on the back wall of the tank. Just a small horizontal line. This is your before measurement. Step 4. Take a flathead screwdriver. Turn that adjustment screw counterclockwise. Each full turn lowers the water level by about 1/4 inch. I went 2 full turns to start. Step 5. Flush the toilet. Watch it refill. The new water level should sit about 1 inch below the top of the overflow tube. That's the open vertical pipe in the middle of the tank. The EPA and Fluidmaster both recommend that 1-inch gap. Step 6. Flush it again. Watch the bowl. If the bowl clears cleanly with no swirl problems, you're done. If it feels weak, turn the screw clockwise 1/2 turn and test again. That's the whole adjustment. No tools beyond a screwdriver. No parts to buy. No plumber. If you want to push it further, there are 2 more free tricks. First, shorten the flapper chain by 1 link. That makes the flapper close 1/2 second sooner, which releases slightly less water per flush. Second, drop a sealed plastic bottle filled with water into a corner of the tank, 1/2 liter size. It displaces volume the toilet would have used anyway. 3 free adjustments, stacked together, same toilet. Now here's the part I was most curious about. Let's see what the numbers say. I read my water meter the morning before I made any changes, wrote the number down. Then I made all 3 adjustments: fill valve lower, flapper change shorter, half-liter bottle in the tank corner. I ran the house normally for 7 days. Same showers, same dishes, same laundry, same everything. The only variable that changed was the toilet. 7 days later, I read the meter again. Before the changes, my household was using about 320 gallons per day. After the changes, 278. That's a difference of 42 gallons per day. 42. To verify it was the toilet, I measured the tank itself. Before adjustment, the tank held 1.6 gallons per flush. After adjustment, 1.1 gallons. That's a 31% reduction per flush. The EPA estimates the average household pays about $6 per 1,000 gallons of water. 42 gallons per day times 365 days is 15,300 gallons a year. At $6 per 1,000, that's $93 a year for a free adjustment. I didn't expect it to be that clean. 2 things before you try this, because I'd rather you hear them from me. First, if you have an old toilet, pre-1994, 3.5 gallons per flush or higher, you can pull 30% or more savings easy. If you have a modern 1.6 gallon toilet, expect closer to 15 to 20%. If you have a brand new 1.28 gallon WaterSense toilet, the dial is already pretty tight. You'll save closer to 10%. Still, real money over a year, just not the same headline number. Second, if you turn the screw too far counterclockwise, the water level drops below the level needed to start the siphon. You'll get a weak flush, and worse, you'll find yourself flushing twice to clear the bowl. Flushing twice uses more water than the factory default. The EPA flags this directly. The rule is 1 inch below the top of the overflow tube. Not 2, not 3, 1. If your bowl doesn't clear cleanly on the first flush, you went too far. Turn the screw back clockwise a half turn. And one safety note, the water in your toilet tank is clean municipal water, the same water that comes out of your faucet. The water in your bowl is not. Don't mix them up. The only thing that changed in my house this week is whether I knew that knob existed. Same toilet, same flushes, same daily life. 42 fewer gallons going down the drain every day. Roughly $93 staying in my account every year. On a fix that took 9 minutes and cost nothing. If your toilet is older than 1994, this is probably the highest dollar per minute return you'll get from any DIY job in your house. If it's newer, the number is smaller, but it's still real. If this saved you money, it'll save someone you know money too. Send it. That's the test. $0 spent, $93 a year saved. See you next time.